How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. So I wanted to start a new series on the channel where I'm breaking down some of the top CDL players and giving you tips and tricks and just breaking down how they like to play, and hopefully we can use this utilize in our own gameplays. Hopefully it will help some of you guys improve or just understand how they play a little bit better. So it'd be wrong to start this off with anyone but Shotzzy. As you can probably tell, he's probably my favourite player in the league currently, as I always mention him in my sort of pro player spots, which in fact he's probably the reason why I actually started that in the first place, because he gets some crazy angles and jump spots. So it'd be fun to break him down and just sort of talking about how he likes to play. So we're going to break down how he plays in game modes, his movement, some of his tactics, and then just a few other little things along the way. So we'll get into it now, guys, and if there's anybody you want to see in this series, please let me know down below. So let's get into it now. So he's a pretty flexible player, but most of the time he's going to be using an SMG and then pretty much just moving around the map really fast, you know, having good gun skill, that sort of thing. But first, let's talk about how he plays in S&D. Now, you will see him getting the bomb a lot of the time, and he's going to be the one that's going for the plants and getting in those awkward spots. And also, you know, he uses his jump spots and different angles and stuff like that to make it a nightmare for the enemy team, make himself hard to kill. Where basically, you know, for example, he used an AR on Berlin and took out RCTs through that one wallbang spot against FaZe. And then you will also see him using jump spots like on Desert Siege, just to make himself hard to kill and catch the enemies by surprise, whilst also, you know, planting the bomb and just being very flexible where his team needs help as well. You'll see a lot of the time. In Hardpoint, you'll see Shotzzy making those massive rotations, especially on maps like Kavutu, where you'll look at the mini-map and see where his player number is, and he's just randomly off on the back of the map somewhere, rotating for that next spawn, and he's very, very good at this. Also, he needs to have a lot of trigger discipline whilst doing these rotations in Hardpoint. Now, what this means is, when you see an enemy, maybe you're behind enemy lines, but you don't want to quite shoot straight away, just because otherwise you'll give away your cover and probably blow the whole rotation, and you could mess things up, and those points might be vital to win the game. So it's having that trigger discipline and knowing when to and when not to shoot, pretty much, and just getting behind enemy lines and rotating. Obviously, he can also help his team slay as well, because he's got very good guns to kill, so he's going to be running around with an SMG majority of the time, just ready to take out those enemies. So, similar to Hardpoint in a sense, with Control, he's going to be putting himself in those awkward spots in order to take out the enemies and get that good map positioning. You know, he wants to be in the enemy's base and just looking for easy picks to help out the team, and then also helping out whilst capturing the point. Pretty straightforward one for Control. You know, it's just, we saw when they played FaZe and they had to hold off against them, he put himself right down on the beach on Kavutu, hiding down inside a tank, just in a weird off angle. Obviously, they didn't really have many lives left, but you can just see how he figures out these awkward spots to help out the team. So, for Shotzzy's movement, he obviously is known for having some of the best movement in the whole entire game, and that's pretty, you know, I'd say that's very true, to be honest. A lot of people say that. But basically, you'll see him rushing around. He's real fast. He's always jump shotting, slide cancelling. So, in order to play like him, you have to sort of master your movement. So, you want to master your bunny hops, your slide cancels. Obviously, this game is a little bit different to Warzone if that's what you're used to. But there we go. And then also, Shots did a video a while back, whilst he was at Dallas Empire still, showing that he plays the claw grip, which you can look up, or I can link in the description down below. Basically, it's where you have your index finger across your buttons, so the triangle, square, circle, X buttons on PS4. Now, that's basically going to allow you to jump shot, well, and aim at the same time, as well as sliding and aiming. Personally, I do play it as well, and I just play on default settings, so it definitely does work, and it's worth getting used to. And also, you'll notice with Shotzzy, he's really good at staying alive. So, by this I mean, so say he's getting in the gunfight here, you'll see him sort of crouch down and just get out of there whilst he's like on 1 HP. And you saw this against when they played the Florida Mutineers. You see him just get taken out and he gets into cover and backs off. And he's not necessarily even getting a kill there. He is just literally being a nuisance to the other team and just distracting them whilst his teammates capture the point. Now, on to some of the little tactics, you could call them, what Shotzzy uses. So, an example would be, when he's in a gunfight, as I said before, he makes himself hard to kill, and he's pretty unpredictable. But let's say he gets shot and he stood over there. So, you know, instead of just backing off, maybe getting on a heady or going down here, you'll see sometimes he'll hold down a little off angle like this and then pounce up as soon as he comes around the corner. And he's always doing like random stuff mid gunfight, you know, just sort of lying down, just picking him off, making himself very awkward to hit, and then utilising a lot of jump spots and different headies and that sort of thing. Very popular one you'll see him use on this map is when he comes here, and he'll use the heady like this. So it's just being unpredictable is one of the tactics that he likes to use. Obviously, this is easier said than done. And then another one that he used, which was actually on the same map, which I believe was in a game of search. So basically, he knew someone was in here, and you'll see him just sort of mess around with the doors and stuff like that. So he'll open this, and then maybe peek that. And then, you know, maybe then he'll punch through the door, or other way around. So maybe he'll open a window, making the enemy think he's going to peek through there, and then burst through the door like that. So it's just being confusing and hard to sort of beat, and just making yourself easier to win those 1v1s pretty much, and those big kills, because it's going to come down to that a lot of the time in these big games. Now, map knowledge is going to be huge for a player like Shotzzy, and any player in the league, and in general, to be honest. But we'll see him using these random rotations. Well, not necessarily random, but just knowing where to run and why to do it, pretty much. And also understanding how the spawns work, especially on Hardpoint. Obviously, with the other game modes, doesn't matter, because on Control, they're going to be spawning in their base area nonetheless. But also getting in that base is going to be huge. But basically understanding the routes to run, and also just knowing all the different jump spots on the map, which I will show you a couple examples just now, but that all really does come down to map knowledge. And if you have greater map knowledge than the enemy, then you should be able to take advantage of it and take them out. Such as on Desert Siege. So you've got this little spot here, which I've shown in one of my jump spots videos, which actually is what sparked off my series. So basically you hop onto this ledge and through the window, or you can sit on the edge of it if you don't quite break the wood, and once you hear someone come past, pounce through, take them out. It's quite a sneaky little spot, all thanks to Shotzzy. And then there's this example of a crazy little angle that Shotzzy came up with. I believe it was him and Sender, so they bang at this window right there, and basically, if I don't fall like an idiot, basically if you aim straight through this window, you can actually get a wall bang if you leave the door open inside, which I did show, and we saw Shotzzy get this on RSTs when they played FaZe, when they beat them, and I believe you can just wallbang through any of these, but obviously if you look through this bit, you're going to be able to line it up very nicely when somebody is planting or defusing that A-bomb. So overall, Shotzzy is just a great player in the league, probably one of the best SMGs, if not the best, probably has the best movement in the game as well. So in order to play like him, you're going to have to play pretty fast, understand how the rotations work of each map, you know, learn the maps really well to your knowledge, so you know all the different jump spots and that sort of thing, and just awkward angles and wall bangs and that sort of stuff. Get really comfortable using that MP40, because that's going to be the gun most of the time, and then it's just helping out your team when they need help and just making those crazy plays. Obviously, you know, he is world class, probably one of the best in the world, as I said. So, you know, it's going to take a lot of practice to get to that level. But hopefully you can implement some of these things that I've spoken about today, just for fun, pretty much, this video. There may be a few things I've missed here and there, so don't hate me for that. But if there's anybody you want to see next, then please let me know in the comments below. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. It's going to be a new series on the channel, which hopefully we can make quite a few content videos on, because there's a lot of different, like, multiple players in the league that play differently, and hopefully have some different skill sets for us to showcase. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Hope you have a good day. I'll see you all in the next one.